Yo, what's going on, GameLeap? It's Coach Eggs back at it, and Happy New Year. I hope that your 2021 is a banger of a year and better than 2020, which shouldn't be hard because for most of us last year sucked. I wouldn't be surprised as well if COVID-20 became a thing. To be honest, it's been all kinds of whack. Now in this video, we have a lot of red hot champions to talk about. Since 1025 and 1025B dropped, some champions have shot up in the win rate department, while others have fallen from the top all the way down to the bottom. Now whether it's been a direct change to that champion or right buffing or nerfing key items in the game, we will break it all down for you, so gear up for the next 10 minutes or so. Now I want to know, guys, which champion you think will have the highest win rate in Season 11. Personally, I think Azir. He's so good right now. I'm joking, it won't be Azir because he's trash. No, I'd put my money on, I'll go with KARTHUS. I swear Riot never nerfed this cockroach, so that's who I'm going with. Now before we get into the video, guys, you know the drill by now. I say GameLeap.com and tell you how great it is. Now how can this not be true if I'm on there making exclusive content, as well as heaps of other challenger level players and coaches? Listen guys, seriously, Season 11 is just around the corner, so do yourselves a favor and sign up to guarantee you smash it out of the park in 2021. Links as always in the description and comments section. Alright, let's get into it. So we're going to count down the 15 biggest win rate changes over the last few weeks, Game Leapers, and the first one we have to talk about is Nasus. Now Susan's win rate has increased by over 3% since 1025, and you guys won't believe what has caused this. I mean, I still can't, so listen to this. In 1025, Riot wanted to give Nasus some love because he was underperforming, so they reduced his Q cooldown by half a second at each level. I'll be honest, I didn't think this would do a lot because no Nasus player thinks, yeah, if only I had my Q up half a second earlier. They're probably thinking, can the late game start already? But the fact is it has made a difference, and overall you guys playing Nasus win almost 53% of your games, which is one of the highest in league right now. Something else you should know as well is that when Nasus pops his ultimate and becomes an even bigger dog, his siphoning strike cooldown is halved, so imagine this late game. Your Q is on a 1.75 second cooldown, and that's without any ability haste. Early game you can still cop it for sure, but guys, even at level 9 you can start bodying your opponents, so get to it. Alright guys, coming in at number 14, you either love him or you hate him, YASUO. I think for most of us you hate having him on your team but love playing against him, right? Well, at this moment in time guys, YASUO players should be hitting their 0-10 power spike a lot less, and that's because Riot buffed his attack speed growth in 1025. Now as a result, YASUO's win rate has gone up 3.5%, which is huge, to just over a 50% overall, and hey, let's not forget that this was around 45% near the start of pre-season. So you might be asking, why does this extra attack speed mean so much? Well, at level 18 you have almost 20% more because of this change alone, and it's important on YASUO because this stat gets injected into your Q's cooldown. So the more attack speed you have, the more often you can Q. Guys, your late game as YASUO now is insane, but before you play him in ranked, please warm up beforehand so you don't die 10 times before this spike. So this next champion, guys, at number 13 on our countdown, doesn't have a 0-10 power spike, and that's TALIYAH. And there's one change that has seen her win rate go up by over 3.5%. So your clear speed in the jungle is one of the best on the Rift right now, and the reason is because each stone you throw out from your Q now deals 100% damage against monsters. Now TALIYAH's early clear has always been kind of meh because of long cooldowns, and it can be hard to fight off early game invades. Well, now you can hit level 3 really quickly by doing a standard double buff and Grom clear, and then bang, you are in a lane ready to dish out the damage. I mean, in high elo right now guys, TALIYAH has a 54% win rate, which goes to show how good she is. Alright, the 12th biggest win rate change from the last few weeks, guys, is KAYLE and G's. This champion was beyond nutty when the preseason started. She had close to like a 56-57% win rate, and even if she was 0-5, you still couldn't touch her. It was crazy. Yeah, so KAYLE's win rate has dropped to further 3.6%, and it's funny because her win rate is still above 50% after all the nerfs, so you can still play her for sure. Now, the reason it dropped again is because of the 1025 nerfs, which made your early game even weaker and more exploitable, and took away some of your damage. I mean, let me know in the comments if you've kept playing KAYLE. What's it like to play against a Fizz, Diana, Syndra even? It must be painful as right now. Now kicking his way into the 11th spot on our countdown, guys, is Lee Sin, and the blind monk has been on the rise. Now I've always loved a bit of Lee Sin myself, so to see his win rate go up 3.7% recently, I'm happy about that. By the way, if you didn't already know, Lee Sin had a 43% win rate before the 1025 changes, which was the lowest in the whole game at one point. 43%. So here's what Riot changed. They increased your base armor so your early fights are better and you're healthier in the jungle. Your W's cooldown decreased by 2 seconds, and that's not all because your E's base damage went up by 20 at each rank, again helping your clear speed and fights. It's still a little depressing though, guys, and I'll be honest with you, because even on the best, Lee Sin's win rate is still only 49%. So hopefully the gold balance team help him out a bit more. We mean business now, guys. The top 10, let's go. Now, Kindred is number 10 on our countdown, and the 3.8% increase in her win rate is all down to the item changes right throughout in 1025. So Gale Force, the AD mythic, got buffed, and Rapid Fire Cannon is now 2500 gold and not 2700 gold. The thing is that Kindred, like most range AD champions, wasn't finding success with Kraken Slay and whatever else, but if you build these two, Gale Force and RFC, let me tell you, you will win a heck of a lot more games. Oh, I almost forgot to mention how good Gale Force's active is on Kindred as well. It pretty much gives you 2 dashes along with your Q, so you can chase and escape a lot easier. Instead of flashing as well to save your teammates, with your ultimate you can now save it, and just use Gale Force's active. Very neat indeed. Howling his way into the 9th spot is Warwick, and guys, listen to this stat. A 4% increase in win rate, so it's now just over 52% overall, which is so good. Now, the teammate change hurt the WAS, but right now, guys, the 1025 changes and a certain build path, which you have to start using, can help you find way more Ws than before. So your passive now has more damage, which is nice, but the key to your success will be to build these items. So you still get a Tiamat early, then build Frostfire Gauntlet, which is your mythic, then finish off Titanic Hydra, which is what the Tiamat is for, and then you can buy Thornmail, Sterix Gauge, Force of Nature, whatever is better in your game. You stay alive for so long, guys, deal decent damage, and yeah, you just don't go down. It's ridiculous. Now, I've talked about ELISE a lot in our other videos, GameLeap, so I'm not going to go full ham here, so just a quick little summary for number 8. ELISE's win rate has increased over 4% to just under 51% overall, and the cause of this, guys, is your repel now triggers the effects of your passive. Now, right as they often do, call these things changes when really it's just a buff. This means that when you cast your E directly on an enemy and teabag them, your passive effects are juiced up by 40% to 100% depending on your points in E, and you deal an insane amount of damage because of it. If you want to win in solo queue, guys, do it on ELISE in Season 11. This next champion as well, I'm sure you've all heard about, and it's that blue icy bird, you know, the one that does like 75% of your HP with one combo early game, Anivia. Almost forgot. Now, the changes from 1025 skyrocketed Anivia to the top of the win rates, but since the E nerf in 1025B, this has gone back down to 52%. Essentially, you deal less damage and there's more mana cost to using Frostbite. Again, I don't want to go over in detail what this means because I've done so in like 10 videos in the last 2 weeks, but overall, since 1025, Anivia's win rate is up 4.2%, so still a great champion when Season 11 rocks up. We're getting closer to that top dog, guys. Would be cool if it was actually Nasus because he's a dog, but yeah. Number 6 is Twitch, and those of you who think you're rat IRL will definitely be happier once the new season starts because Twitch isn't complete garb anymore. So Twitch's win rate has gone up 4.2%, guys, and the buffs in 1025 have made it interesting. If you play Twitch, by the way, what do you think of these changes? Now you can seriously entertain the idea of going AP, right, if your team needs it, while still having the option of going AD. And there isn't any other marksman that can choose between AD or AP, and it's an advantage in itself. So if you're someone who loves a bit of build diversity and dynamism, then get around the plague rat. The Runear's change in 11.1 will also help you guys out. Alright, the top 5 who is officially pumped. Now, at number 5, we have YASUO's half-brother, YONE, and his win rate has gone up a massive 4.5%. So what Riot did to YASUO, they did to YONE. They increased his attack speed growth, and it impacts YONE in exactly the same way. Almost 20% more attack speed later in a game means you're throwing more Qs out, and YONE's late game is good enough as it is. If you're a fan of YASUO, then definitely think about playing YONE as well, guys. So I think his way into number 4 is Kayn, and it seems like yesterday I was talking to you about how broken this dude was. Like, it feels as if most comments on our champion videos were about Kayn being unkillable and outright busted. But here we are, with Kayn's win rate now at 49.2%, dropping a total 4.7% since 1025. This is when Riot took aim at Kayn. Now in 1025B, Riot reverted 2 of these nerfs, however, because Kayn's win rate was around 47%, and remember, this was at like 55%. So the nerf that has stayed is the extra cooldown in your Q, which affects you a lot. Think of Nasus, who we talked about earlier. His Q cooldown decreased by just half a second, and his win rate increases by 3%. Now for Kayn, that extra second means slower clear speed, weaker team fighting, and weaker scaling. And this really affects Rast. To any of you who play Kayn, tell me, like, is he noticeably weaker? Can you feel a 5% decrease in win rate? Okay, number 3 on our countdown is more of a positive one, guys, and that's Karthus, and boy oh boy. Whether you play jungle Karthus or lane Karthus, you are cheering, and here's why. Karthus's win rate has increased by almost 5%, and guys, the reason is because lay waste now costs less mana, which helps your early clear and poke, and its AP ratio is up, meaning your scaling is even better. Listen to these stats, they're nuts. So in high elo, Karthus as a jungler has a 55% win rate, very good. As a mid laner, nearly a 53% win rate, yeah, pretty good as well. But as an ADC, a 64% win rate. so an overall 57%. Now this is the highest out of any champion picked more than once in 20 games. Guys, get out there and start playing him, but make sure, yeah, you do it after watching the whole video, of course. Alright, so the runner-up for the biggest win rate change since 1025 and 1025B is IVERN, and I think we all know why, right? Riot brought out Elderwood IVERN, so to boost that bank, they buffed IVERN so you suckers would buy it. I'll hold my hand up as well though, because I am one of those suckers. It's a sick skin though. Anyway, yeah, IVERN got buffed to Kingdom Come, and let's not forget that IVERN's core items got buffed as well, so it's double trouble here. So Imperial Mandate, Ardent Sensor, and Staff in Flowing Water, these all got buffed, and the results of all these, a 5% increase in win rate, and a lot happier subreddit over at IVERN mains. Guys, before revealing the biggest win rate changes of 1025 and 1025B, make sure to like the video and subscribe and turn on all notifications, because who would not want to miss any of our red hot uploads? And second of all, do not forget to check out our amazing website GameLeap.com when I stop talking. If you want to get better and who doesn't, then sign up to get access to our peak level courses, guides, videos to get started. Thousands are already reaping the rewards, so get clicking. Links down below. Now this is a real sad story, guys. I can picture this as a children's book one day of how the best champion got nerfed that hard, they became the worst. In fact, since the preseason started, this champ has been nerfed 3 times, and his core epic and mythic items have been nerfed 5 times. That's how broken the sad little mummy was. And yes, if you haven't figured it out by now, the champion with the biggest win rate change, and it's a drop of 6.6%, is Amumu. A funny stat for you as well, since his fall from grace, Amumu's play rate has gone down 9%. How LP hungry is everyone these days? No, I don't blame you for abusing him, I would have too. Guys, thanks so much for watching the video. This has been Coach Eggs. Until tomorrow's video. Peace.